Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored by Spiegel Law PC, 516-873-1683, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, I&D Glot Market, and Reister's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan, and Happy New Year, Norm.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah, 2025, we already have our first terrorist attack in New Orleans, and one of the victims was born in Mineola, lived in Huntington, 25 years old, Matthew Tenedorio, and he passed away. Well, still a lot to be played out about this attack, and it's not local, but, it hits us. Mineola's right down the road, and there you go.
Yeah, you see the difference between their security and the security in New York City. We have these huge dump trucks filled with sand as a blockade, and this guy seemingly just drove right around a police car, drove up the sidewalk, and took out 20 people, 30 people.
It's crazy. And you know what? You're right. New Year's, you look at these hundreds of thousands of people put in these corrals for like 12 hours. God knows how they go to the bathroom, but that's besides the point. But New York City Police Department has this under control.
It's amazing.
This was really rough.
And possibly not the only attack. There's all kinds of rumors going around with that cyber truck that blew up in front of the Trump Hotel, whatever it was, Las Vegas or Los Angeles, I can't remember. Yeah. But so apparently the terrorists are back in business for this year.
Yeah, and they were part of the American military, which makes it all that more disturbing. So Bruce Blakeman, he's tough on crime, and now he's got some deputies that he swore in the first of the year, and it's got some controversy because a lot of people think that it's not necessarily needed. We have already the police department. What's the use? But here we are, and I'm
not sure what that's about at all. I mean, they could always use another couple of hands, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But these bunch of guys that look like they're 50, 60-year-old guys, I don't see them chasing anybody down the street too fast, but I suppose another gun on the street wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, that makes me a little bit concerned. I mean, these guys are going to have badges, they're going to have guns. Apparently, they're only going to get called up under very special circumstances. We talked about this when this sort of first floated up. I'm really not entirely comfortable with this, especially since I just happened to have seen on Blakeman's own Instagram page, we just signed in a whole bunch of new people through the police academy. So I'm not quite sure why he needs all these other people. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Blakeman's boys. I mean, it's about 24 guys, and I'm not sure what their mission is. They're on standby, beeper pay. Who knows what's going on?
They're talking about in special events. I guess in a national emergency or something. I don't get it.
Yeah. But you also have the auxiliary police. Isn't that their role?
I would think so, but they're not armed.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess to be continued.
Yep.
So we just wrapped up the holiday season, and it was great. West Hempstead, the holiday lights all over the place. We had the Santa run or Santa runs. We had the menorah lighting this past Sunday. Dan and I and Adam covered that as well, which was really a lot of fun.
It's nice to see. I passed the fire truck with the menorah on it. It's the same fire truck that had Santa on it the week before, all dressed up in lights. It's fantastic to see a small community celebrating together like that.
For me, the highlight was when the firemen go up their ladder and they throw the chocolate gelt down. So of course Dan's like, go in the middle. So I'm like, I'm standing in the middle, and I'm holding the fakakta GoPro, and it's like I'm just getting hit. And I'm like, I don't even have safety glasses. It's like closing my eyes, and it's like, wow.
It's the most dangerous place to be in West Hempstead.
I will tell you, this is why I'm standing up safe on the stage, away from everything, and I send him down into the mosh pit. But I have to say, really well attended, tons of families, tons of kids. We got somebody else waving to us saying, hey, I like to watch the Echo, which is great. We love to see it, but it was really a fantastic event put on by Chabad of West Hempstead.
Chabad really did a great job. And you know what? The throwing of the gelt is nothing, because I have family that was down in Florida, and apparently Chabad has a helicopter, and they lower the helicopter and they throw the gelt out of the helicopter.
That's
like, what could go wrong there?
That's our game.
So maybe next year we have drones and we drop it down.
That's a great idea.
From drones. And anyways, we'll talk a little bit about Hall's Pond because the West Hempstead Civic Association just sent out their newsletter. And actually I was kind of disappointed because they said this was going to be their last printed newsletter, and I think it's effective as a printed product. I'm not sure how many people are going to go online and get it, and they got to put in their email, and it's going to go into junk mail and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, getting past that, the Civic Association talked about some of their improvements that they made to Hall's Pond, including putting some asphalt in areas that were uneven, and it looked really, really good.
Right.
And they also have a list of items that are coming up.
Right, they want to upgrade the playground, which is a hugely used playground.
Yeah.
And beautiful, by the way. They want to put more park benches in, increase the lighting.
Yeah.
They talk about the sprinkler being upgraded. So they've only had bubblers. There's this aeration thing that goes on underneath the pond, which obviously now is so clogged with
I don't think there's much aeration.
You can walk across the pond. And so that's completely ineffective. But I've always talked about, the community getting together and putting in real fountains.
Yeah.
Something really spectacular. It doesn't have to be, at the level of Las Vegas, but just a simple sprinkler up that goes.
Yeah, and you got the gazebo. It would make for some great pictures.
Yeah, it's a festive-looking place.
But before they do all that, they got to dredge, and they got to do it really well. I mean, to your point, you could walk across and not even get water on your knees. It's a real problem. And they got to do some deep dredging and get that water flowing, and then they can go from there. But I'm glad to see that they're interested in upgrading.
Definitely.
And also in the report, there was just a thing about the Heatherwoods development, about all the progress that they're making, which is really very impressive. I think they're looking at a mid-2026 initial opening, and they're on target.
Right. They just put on their 4th floor in one section of the building, so that's topped off. Hank has also added their 3rd floor, which tops off for them. So we're seeing some real progress in town.
Yeah, that's great. Well, now would be a great time for us to take a quick commercial break.
Tiffany Dry Cleaner is ready to handle all your cleaning, laundering, and dry cleaning needs. We offer free pickup and delivery Sunday to Friday in all communities. Give us a shot.
All right, so we're back, and Norm, New Year's predictions. We really didn't talk about this before the New Year's. Do you have any predictions for West Hempstead for the New year? Or dredging of the pond would be a good one.
Taxes will go up.
Yeah, there you go. That's a tough one.
There'll be turmoil in Washington.
That's for sure.
Dysfunction in government.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of talk about the education in West Hempstead and how our money's being spent. It's the usual. I don't see much difference.
So what's the over/under on the budget passing first go around this time? We did okay
based
last
on
year.
West Hempstead's history, not so good. I would say about 30-40% chance of passing on the first go around.
Probably.
You know what? Unfortunately, I think that we're going to be heading in for a whole lot of hurt with all the unstable situations that we have all over the place. Maybe some sort of modified police state, if I may say. And Norm, I know right before the show we were talking about, the good old days, quote unquote, of the Vietnam War and the war protests. But we're really living through some crazy times.
Crazy. And we're right on the edge all the time, and people don't even understand, how crazy things can get at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, so I hope I'm wrong.
Me too.
But I am nervous about the future direction, and it's not whether I'm for or against the government. I just see such incredible stability, primarily fueled by social media and just dissemination of false information that it's just way out of control.
I will say from a local perspective, I mean, we tend towards one political end of the spectrum in the West Hempstead area, but it's not everybody. Thank God so far everybody's managed to be relatively adult about it, and we certainly hope everybody in town continues to feel that way, whatever's coming in other parts of the world.
Yeah. So I have another story, and it's really more of a personal item as opposed to specific to West Hempstead, although this individual, when I'm talking about Chuck Dolan, who was the former chairman of Cablevision, he really impacted so many lives on Long Island, including people in West Hempstead. In case people don't know who are watching this, I worked for Cablevision for over 20 years. I worked for News 12, which was a product that Chuck started, and Pat Dolan was the president of News 12. Had a very close relationship. And he was a pioneer. He started HBO, Manhattan Cable, AMC, MSG, the Knicks, the Rangers, and the whole Cablevision empire was initially built by Cablevision. And I have to say very, very quickly that some of the early embers of getting Echo started came from the chairman.
That's right.
So in 2010...
We owe them big time.
Yeah, 2010, I went around with the chairman and Pat Dolan looking for different local towns that we could start to bring News 12 to. And the product failed, but that's for a different conversation. But anyway, Mr. Dolan was always interested in finding hyper-local and finding those great connect stories, and that was instilled with me, and that carried over into Echo, and here we are. So
it actually amazes me that the Dolans have stayed with Newsday. They are the owners of Newsday, and they have been supporting it as a losing proposition financially, but they're there for the communities.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about their finances, but I will say that Pat Dolan, cares about news, cares about individuals. The whole family cares about getting the story right. Mr. Dolan had one of these weekly publications in Oyster Bay that I think was still running up until very recently. They really believe in local journalism, and I'm just sorry to hear of Mr. Dolan's passing.
Well, hopefully his memory will be a blessing for the family.
Absolutely. So, Anxious Generation. This is an event that's coming up January 7th. We've been talking about this. It's featuring Yoni Schwab, and it's going to be at the Hank Early Childhood Center. And this is really a very important event, and we hope that if you have young kids and they're feeling anxious, and we talked about the cell phones and all that stuff, this is a really important event to
it's 7 p.m. on the 7th.
Yep. And I thought this was kind of cool. There's a West Hempstead Flag Football League, and they're signing people up, and the deadline is February 10th. You can get the links online, and they have an early bird special, and it's cool. It's 8 weeks regular season, playoffs, and who knew that West Hempstead had a flag football thing?
There should be a couple of players available from the Giants and the Jets who aren't doing anything much.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, and this is my usual annoyance: property tax seminars. We got nothing else to do because again, our taxes are so stupidly complicated that we have to have seminars and we got to pay third parties to get this all done. Norm, what do we got going on?
So I pay a third party, and they reduced it by 7%, the valuation by 7%.
Yeah.
Why would they need to do that? I have to pay them now.
Yes.
Half of the savings, which shouldn't have been there to begin with, but at any rate, I do it because it saves me money. On January 9th at 10:30 at Hempstead Town Hall, they're having a seminar, and then another one on the 15th at Echo Park at 2 p.m. It's worthwhile making the visit because it's going to save you hundreds, if not thousands.
Yeah, and so again, we just keep going backwards with the taxes. Make it simple so we don't have to untangle it. It's enough already.
Yeah, don't shoot it up so high that we have to hire people to drive it back down. It's crazy.
Just creating jobs for no reason, and people could be doing other things. Business of the week, Cherry Valley Market. Norm, I don't know if you go there, but they got some incredible produce. They got the freshest green stuff all over the place.
I like the place because the aisles are wide. The place is very bright. They have fresh stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Really, you should take a visit.
And if you're a senior citizen, they have a senior citizens discount during the weekdays. So that really is super important. So, a shout out to them. Their place is always super clean. They have events going on. I think Fridays they have singers and all sorts of...
nice parking in that parking lot.
Ample parking. UPS is right next door. So, shout out to Cherry Valley Market. Those guys are doing a really great job.
What's Reester's got on sale?
Oh, what don't they have on sale? I mean, what don't they have going on? We're getting back into the swing of things. Dan, I think this week they have they're going to be doing something on muffins and
Something
special
like that.
discounts.
And listen, they've been working their fingers to the bone for the holiday season. I happened to be there New Year's Eve, and things had calmed down a little bit, but they're right back at it, making stuff available. Come in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, a muffin, and stuff's going to be on sale all month. You'll keep an eye out. We'll be putting the specials together, and stop by and grab something to eat.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bands is playing this week.
Oh man, they're the best. Sniff the Cork. It just doesn't get any better than that. We got Paul Dabrowski, David Berkowitz, Mark Walkenfeld, Richie Rabinowitz. I mean, these guys rock out to like classical 60s and 70s music.
Saturday night on the 4th.
Saturday night.
Admission is free.
Creative Corner, 482 Hempstead Avenue. Local as local gets, just doesn't get any better than that. So I think that's going to be a wrap for This Week in West Hempstead. I want to thank you, Norm. I want to thank you, Dan, and I want to thank everyone for hanging in. And
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to visit our sponsors, Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, I&D Glot Market, and Reister's Bakery. To find out more or to reach out to us, come visit us on social media at Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at westhempsteadecho.com.
Welcome to I&D Glot. We love our customers. We have the freshest produce. We have all the groceries you need. We have the best cuts of beef, veal, lamb, chicken for the best price. And of course, a bakery department with all fresh cookies, cakes, and freshest bakery item. And of course, with a takeout department with delicious food. If you need to place an order, do it online. We'll deliver it to you, or come into the store and shop. We can't wait to see you.